Tapumania. Tapumania. Fuck it. Today's video is sponsored by Native Sons Goods, makers of the highest quality woven guitar, bag, and camera straps you'll ever see. Native Sons straps are handmade one at a time in the USA with unparalleled love and care. Click the link in the description to check out their new expanded lineup featuring all new 3-inch guitar straps. And remember, when you support my sponsor, you support this channel, and I sure appreciate it.
Hey y'all, it's Shitpost Friday.
Hello, how's it going, lads and ladies? Brad the Guitologist here. It is time again for Shitpost Friday. First up this Shitpost Friday is a hilarious story about a man who set fire to his own flat in Aberdeen, Scotland, because his guitar told him to do it.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Come here.
This guy was caught because he went outside and a neighbor took a snapshot of him, and he was covered in soot, and he was carrying his laptop, and I guess he was walking around looking like a crazy person. Okay, a woman was walking near the flats when she saw thick smoke coming out of the flats. She contacted the fire service. While doing so, she saw Kubina, that's the guy who set his guitar on fire, allegedly, walking away very quickly. She saw his face covered in soot and was carrying a laptop and other items. I wonder what the other items were.
These matches, the ashtray, and these matches, and the remote control, and the paddle ball. This lamp.
They do show a photograph, I presume, of the guy getting arrested here. I think this is the guy with the Coke bottle glasses. He told the court,
I'm a fire starter, twisted fire starter.
It's funny thing, as I was actually preparing for this story, I was reading the article, and they have films running up at the top, you know, showing some of the local things that were going on there in Aberdeen, and one of the things that was going on was a clan walk. And it was showing all these happy people were on a clan walk, and it's like, oh yeah, I had to remember that this is Scotland, like that's okay. That shit would not fly here. Even if you did spell it with a C, it just would not fly. They tried to have one of those near me, and like 5 jackasses were gonna go to the public park and have a Klan rally. It was in the newspaper, you know, it blows it all out of proportion. I mean, there's literally like 5 dudes, you know, in this picture, and they're wearing masks, and they got their skull t-shirts and shit, and they look like they just stumbled right out of the trailer park, you know. And why are you giving these people even the time of day? And then like, you know, 30, 40 people show up to protest on the day they're supposed to have their little rally or whatever. And, you know, of course the counter-protesters far outnumber the actual, you know, Klan members. Who, again, are just like 5 jackasses who stumbled out of the trailer park. You know, I don't get it. Just ignore the fucking people. It doesn't make any sense. You know, you're just trying to stir shit. Just stop doing that. But yeah, just tickled me that that's okay in Scotland. You know, you can have a clan walk in Scotland. You can have a clan gathering in Scotland still, and that's all right.
Unite the clans.
The power of words. Speaking of dipshits, this guy I thought was kind of interesting. This father was arrested. Where is this? Where the hell is this? This is in Hollywood? No, this is in Utah. A Utah man was arrested after he beat his teen sons with a guitar because they did not get out of bed for church.
So you must have tea and cake with the vicar or you die!
I mean, I thought Baptists were bad. I'm assuming this guy, I mean, everybody in Utah is pretty much a Mormon. I don't think I met anybody traveling through Utah that wasn't a Mormon, so I'm presuming this guy is a Mormon. His name's Lamatia Tapumania. Alright, I'm going to get this right. Tapumania. Tapumania. Fuck it. Anyway, that's the dude's name. Beat his sons. One of them was 14 and the other one was 17. The court says his 14-year-old son was sleeping in the bed and he decided not to go to church. He's just like, fuck that shit for today. I'm going to stay home and whack off or whatever he decided to do. And Dad, I'm just going to stay at home and whack off all day if that's all right.
Boy, I never seen two kids do so much damn whacking.
So he decided to stay home from church, and he became upset with him and picked up a guitar and tried to strike him in the head. The boy blocked the hit for the head with his hand, but then he struck him with the instrument 3 more times and broke his arm. Damn. Damn! It shows an acoustic guitar here, but I don't... Would an acoustic guitar, could that possibly really break your arm? I can't see that happening. You know, even if your bone, unless you're like really little or something, you know, unless like a really young kid and your bones haven't fully formed, I don't think an acoustic guitar is going to quite do it. You got to have a serious like BC Rich bitch or something, you know, to institute that kind of damage. But anyway, broke his arm. His 17-year-old son woke up in the melee.
It is as though I have been involved in the melee myself.
And then his dad starts hitting him in the hips and in the leg with the guitar. I'm laughing at this because, you know, you have to make light of this stuff, because otherwise you're just going to cry. You know, I don't want to cry. Salt Lake police reported that Saw confessed to hitting his sons while authorities were reading his Miranda rights. Sure, we were reading his Miranda rights whenever he confessed.
You have the right to remain silent.
Anything you say may be used against you.
It's
A likely story. We were trying to read him Miranda right. He's been charged with a felony and a misdemeanor child abuse. Now, what he was charged with a felony and a misdemeanor. What was the felony? What was the misdemeanor? I don't get it. So I guess breaking the one kid's arm was a felony? Like if he hadn't broken his arm, it would just been 2 misdemeanors? That's weird. Yeah, that reminds me, I did a Shitpost Friday. Like the whole thing was about, you know, the various ways in which people have used, you know, guitars to beat people and murder people and all this stuff. And actually, guitars are quite dangerous. It won't be long until somebody's trying to institute a guitar buyback program. Thought this was kind of cool. Alice in Chains guitarist Jerry Cantrell is selling a guitar lesson for charity. He's raising money for St. Jude's Children's Charity, and the bidding is currently at $3,500, according to this. But I wonder if it's already sold. No, you have 18 hours from this time. So by Friday, it might already be sold. Let me think. Yes, that's true. Okay. Well, it will already be sold by Friday, so you'll get to see how much it went for. But a private lesson with Jerry Cantrell of Alice in Chains, currently $3,500. It's a lot of money for a lesson, but, you know, if you get to kind of sit down, I wonder if it's an hour long or what. And it's for charity, so, you know, might be a cool story to tell people, you know, that you had a lesson with Jerry Cantrell. It's given a bunch of disclaimers and stuff here. Let's see. You have to fill out a pre-qualification form because they don't want you to be a crazy lunatic, you know, who sets fire to his guitar. You are bidding on private guitar lesson with Jerry Cantrell. Enjoy a private guitar lesson in Los Angeles with legendary Alice in Chains guitar player Jerry Cantrell. Travel not included. Exact details to be discussed with winner and management. That's when you find out, you know, after you've spent like, you know, 10 grand. That's when you find out it's like, oh, Jerry's only gonna talk to you behind, you know, a plate glass via closed circuit television. Yeah, I'd be somewhat skeptical of that arrangement. That reminds me, on PBS, I think starting this month, they're going to start showing the new Ken Burns documentary on country music, which looks kind of promising. It looked like it had a lot of really, you know, cool footage of early, you know, old-time music, like Carter Family type stuff, and it could be really cool. So that would be something to look forward to this month. I thought this was interesting as well. Roger Waters sings "Wish You Were Here" at a Julian Assange rally in Britain. Of course, Julian Assange is in a British prison currently, and he's awaiting extradition, possibly to the United States. Not sure how that's all going to go down, but of course, I just think it's kind of interesting that Roger Waters is supporting Julian Assange. It's just a weird mix of bedfellows there in a way, because, you know, Julian Assange has kind of fallen out of favor just because, you know, all the stuff that he revealed over the last couple of years has been in favor of, you know, Donald Trump mainly, because it mostly harmed Democrats and Hillary Clinton. The stuff that he kind of put out there, a lot of, you know, the email stuff and all that. So, you know, just considering that Roger Waters was really viscerally against Donald Trump, I mean, in his stage show, whenever he did The Wall on this last Wall tour, it's just really interesting that he would still support Julian Assange in spite of that, but I guess he does. All right, so that's going to do it for the news. All right, as you guys know, a guy named Don Logan has sent me a bunch of catalogs. You know, I'm trying to go through these a little bit at a time and try to round out some Shitpost Fridays with that sort of content. And I thought we might check out a few more of those catalogs here now, and let's go ahead and do that. What do we have here? What's Balder? Balder from 1983, The Sound of Sweden. Swedish solid state boogie wannabes with a price list. Huh, don't think they lasted very long. I could see why. Because they were solid state boogie wannabes. From Sweden, no less. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to export things from Sweden and probably make any money on it, even back then. What is that? Your hair. So you get, the amp makes you lose your hair, so you get balder. Ha ha ha. Hardy har har, Don. This is original as well. This is not a scan or reprint. It looks like it might be a Xerox or something, but it's not. Balder amplifiers. Holy crap. So what is this? Is this that's an entire amp. That's a preamp and power amp. What do you have here? Input 1, input 2. You got a master volume with like a 5-band EQ. Tone defeat. What is that? Okay, so you can parallel the inputs on the channels, looks like, with the flip of a switch. Huh. Balder. I'll be damned. And then they would install the amp heads. You could buy the head. There's the lightning head. And a handsomely crafted oiled oak cabinet that is extremely roadworthy. And there's the Thunder. Or you could get them in a combo, equipped with an EV speaker. Very, very interesting. The Sound of Sweden. I would have to say that this is an exceptionally rare piece of guitar history, what I'm holding in my hand right here. I can't imagine there are too many of these price lists left in the world. I mean, who would have kept something like this from just an obscure company like this? There you go. Somebody wants to dial the number and find out if it's still in service. 1982. Jeez, I mean, they weren't cheap. Look at that. Starting at $725 in 1982. Up to $1225 for the big Thunder combo bass. Damn. And these are just speaker enclosures. Shit, man, this is like current prices. Man, stuff is so much cheaper now. You can really tell just because of, you know, because of all the overseas import stuff, you know, that's kind of flooded the market. You just got so much of it. The prices have come down so much. You know, nobody could compete with this. You couldn't make anything in Sweden today and try to compete with the stuff coming out of China. You just couldn't do it. You couldn't compete. So all that stuff is folded, you know. And the other thing is, too, you know, I mean, if you do buy all this stuff, what are you going to do with it? You know, you could record to your heart's content, and you're never going to make your money back probably on your recordings, just because that's just the way of the music industry today. You know, it's the way everything has gone, you know, to streaming, and everything is pretty much free anyway online. You know, all the MP3s that are available, people, you can go on YouTube and download stuff. You can go everywhere and download stuff. And it's just like, you know, where's the money to be made to make your money back when you invest in equipment like that anyway? I could see why the prices have sort of come down. Asturias, 1988. Let's see what we have here. JTG of Nashville. Asturias. Oh, that's something different. Asturias, 1988. High quality classical and other unique acoustics made in Japan. Modestly priced. What's that? Horabe. Modestly priced acoustics made in Japan. Good stuff to watch out for. Yeah. I cannot believe you sat, man. Don sat down. Dude, he went to his place down in Oregon. And he, you know, he's from Alaska now. And he went down to his other place in Oregon. He sent me a bunch of stuff from Alaska. And he just sat down with all this stuff, man, and just went through it and labeled it all and talked about it all, and just all this care and attention that he put into this. It's just freaking amazing. What do we have here? Oh, I guess maybe that is, okay, JTG of Nashville. I've never heard of JTG of Nashville. Larry Rhodes. I've heard the name Larry Rhodes. I've heard that name, but I'm not sure where. But there's a signature, Larry Rhodes. Thank you very much for your inquiry about JTG of Nashville product. Many customers have congratulated JTG on the consistently high level of quality and durability of our product line. According to here's a price list. I don't reckon that has anything to do with these, but I don't know. Asturias. John Mills model. Yeah, man, there's nothing quite as satisfying, really, to me. You know I work on amps and everything, and I guess I'm kind of known for more for amp stuff, but there's nothing really quite as satisfying to me as picking up a really nice classical guitar, man, and just feeling the warm hum of it, you know, up next to your body, and it's just there's just nothing quite like a nice classical guitar. What's this? This is a scan of a page or something out of, I don't know, leaflet. Out of Frets magazine. But yeah, these look amazing. Asturias guitars. I will definitely look out for these. Look at that. They even made, what is that? How many strings is that? Is it 10? 11 string. 11 strings. There's another one there. It's about 10 or 11 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 string. Wow. That's cool. Ooh, I like that tuning fork. Look at that set up. I love that. Sweet. Okay, this looks like the exact same thing again, and it is. So 2 of those. And we've got Horabe guitars. Some more classical guitars there. The Horabe line of guitars is the result of JTG of Nashville's years-long research in designing and building a guitar that is not only truly responsive, but one is also moderately priced. So I'm guessing, yeah, this is... So he wrote to JTG of Nashville and asked them for their catalogs, and he got the stuff that I guess they represent or that they were importing at the time. So I'm guessing they were importing both of these lines of guitars, this M Horabe and this Asturias, into the U.S. That would be my guess. That may have also, I guess they may have also been their privately labeled, you know, guitar lines. This JTG of Nashville. So that's interesting. Okay, and this also is their, okay, this is sheet music that you could buy as well. So he sent copies of this stuff, so there's 2 of each thing. See what I mean? It's just like, who keeps this stuff? What do we have here? 1977 Rothchild's dealer catalog. Rothchild musical instruments. Well, as long as you're staying out of banking. Yeah. Bad joke, sorry. Okay, let's see. Alembic, yeah, Oasis, Augustino, Larrivee. Cool. More strings. What is this? Ice Cube, what? Sustain coupler. What the hell is this? Ice Cube sustain coupler transforms any Fender reverb amp. Supersonic overdrive. 20 times more sustain. Designed and built to last. What the fuck is that? What is it? I don't even see. I can't even tell what it is. JHD audio. What is it? The Incredible Ice Cube by JHD Audio is a low-cost, easy-to-install, highly durable, solid-state sound effect device designed expressly for use in Fender amplifiers with reverb. So, okay, I see what they're doing. They're coming out of the reverb send and going through the Ice Cube device and then returning from it. Yeah, I remember seeing these things before. I remember this. Yeah, there can't be that much to it. And then what you're able to do is you're able to use your reverb control knob to get, you know, gain. You use it as gain knob, and you could do that even now with some slight mods to your amp. So that's, you know, again, you're looking at a relic really there of, you know, 1970s and people's attempts, you know, to get more sustain out of their existing equipment. With such things as DiMarzio Super Distortion pickups and this little Ice Cube sustain coupler. So very interesting. Never heard of this distributor before. But did they distribute Alembic? I guess they did. There's some really cool Alembics. Look at that. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, that's a badass guitar right there. You know, I just realized also that this little DIN connector right here that's on this Alembic, I have a guitar that was made in 1981 by a boutique builder, and it's very Alembic looking in appearance. You know, it's got the neck through design and everything, and it has one of those as well. So I'm thinking, and I never understood exactly what was going on with the electronics in that thing because just never had an opportunity to fully test them out, and I'm guessing it has something to do with that. It's some kind of Alembic a thing that they had installed. So there's all that. If you want to read all that, you can. Oasis. Wow, look at that. Look at that. That's cool. I mean, imagine being a guitar player, you know, in the 1970s, and then something like this coming along, you know. I mean, something like this comes along today, and it's kind of like, yeah, you know, whatever. I've seen it before. But, I mean, in the 70s, something like that comes along, and that's just like, it might as well be from outer space. You know what I mean? And just really, they look really well made. I've never heard of this, company before. 24 fret, fingerboards. Yeah, these things look choice. Look at that. Oasis guitars. Killer. Yeah, and that's another thing too. The guitar I have from the early 80s from that boutique builder has a volute that is at least that big. It has this huge volute on it, just like that. It's like he must have really studied these Alembics and Oasis guitars. What was that? What did I just pass? Furman Sound. Yeah, I remember Furman stuff. Jean-Claude, that's Larrivee. So that's some, I don't know when Larrivee started, but this has got to be fairly early, I would guess. Look at that. Dwarf miniature amplifiers. The Dwarf miniature guitar amplifier is the first high-quality small amp combining solid-state reliability with the sound of old large tube amps preferred by players. Only 12 inches high. It's 5 watts RMS. Huh. Obviously, I've heard of little pig nose amplifiers, but I've never heard of a Dwarf. The hell? That's an Alembic. What is this? A 2-channel tube type musical instrument preamplifier. Alembic made preamps? I didn't know that either. Look at that. That's an Alembic preamp. And look, it almost looks like the front panel of a Fender or something with channel A, channel B, 2 inputs, bright switch. Look at that. I've never seen anything like that before. Have you guys ever seen an Alembic preamp before? I haven't. Bartonlini pickups. I've got a couple of old Bartonlini pickups. You know what's interesting as well? I think the guitar that I keep talking about also had Bartonlini pickups in it originally. So that's interesting too. And he also had a little chip. The chip is a miniature preamplifier designed for boosting electric guitars, basses, and pianos, as well as microphones. It uses a 9-volt battery. What we have here? Alembic hot rod kit. What is this? Oh, I guess they're changing the nuts and saddles and stuff like that. Stratoblaster. Power boost preamp for Stratocasters. Interesting as well. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Pickpocket straps. Silver Eagle design. Pickpocket straps. I own one of those. Cool. I don't think I've ever seen one of their catalogs, let alone in person. That's cool. Yeah, I have one. I actually own one of these straps. Apparently they're fairly rare. That's super cool. A lot of you guys know I'm I'm a bit of a aficionado of old guitar straps. I like collecting old 60s and 70s mainly, and well 80s too, I guess. Guitar straps, old vintage ones, and it's really interesting to see a catalog for Pickpocket straps for quite a while. I'm not even sure where I got it. I got it on some kind of trade. A lot of times, you know, I would trade guitars and buy guitars and get some vintage thing or other, and it would come with the strap, and the strap would be in the case or whatever. So I would just sell the guitar, you know, at whatever profit I could get for the guitar, and the strap would just be kind of bonus, you know. Alright guys, that'll do it for Shitpost Friday. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, hit subscribe down below. Also hit the bell to receive all notifications. Also go over to Channel 2 if you haven't already and check that out. I will probably throw up some bonus material from this Shitpost Friday that did not quite make the cut over there. A lot of that material is actually just as interesting as the stuff I put on Channel 1, so you'd really be doing yourself a favor if you like these shows to go subscribe to Channel 2 also. And for now, y'all take care.